Why do games feel impossible to put down? Why do pro gamers react faster than most people? Why do horror games terrify you even when you know they're fake? Today, we're answering all of those questions, and trust me, the last one is something every gamer needs to hear. Question 1. Can gaming actually change your brain? What if every game you played was secretly rewiring your brain? Every time you launch Minecraft, Call of Duty, or even Candy Crush, billions of neurons fire, creating stronger connections inside your brain. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, meaning your brain constantly adapts to whatever you practice most. If you spend hours building in Minecraft, your planning and spatial awareness improve. If you play fast-paced shooters, your brain becomes better at spotting movement and reacting within milliseconds. Games don't just entertain you, they literally train your brain. But here's the interesting part. If gaming can make your brain stronger, why does it also become so difficult to stop playing? The answer begins with one powerful chemical called dopamine. Question 2. Why can't you stop playing? Why do you always tell yourself just one more match, but somehow end up playing for another hour? The answer is dopamine, a chemical that fuels motivation and anticipation. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine isn't released only when you win. It spikes when your brain expects a reward. That's why opening loot boxes, unlocking achievements, or getting close to the next level feels so exciting. Games constantly tease your brain with the promise of progress, keeping you engaged even after repeated losses. It's the same psychological trick behind social media and casinos, but games wrap it inside fun challenges. So if dopamine keeps you playing, how do professional gamers react so unbelievably fast? That's where reflexes come in. Question 3. How do pro gamers react so fast? Have you ever wondered how pro gamers seem to spot an enemy before you even notice them? It's not because they have superhuman reflexes, it's because their brains process information more efficiently through practice. Fast-paced games constantly force you to track movement, ignore distractions, and make split-second decisions. Over time, your brain learns to recognize patterns almost instantly, reducing the time between seeing something and reacting to it. That's why experienced players often appear to predict what's about to happen when they're actually recognizing familiar situations faster than beginners. But if your brain can process so much information in seconds, why do entire gaming sessions feel like they last only a few minutes? The answer lies in your brain's sense of time. Question 4. Why does time fly while gaming? Have you ever started playing just for 30 minutes, only to realize it's already midnight? That's because your brain can enter something called a flow state, a condition where you're completely immersed in what you're doing. During flow, your attention becomes so focused on the game that your brain pays less attention to everything else, including time itself. Whether you're surviving in Minecraft, climbing ranks in Valorant, or exploring Elden Ring, every challenge keeps your mind fully engaged. The outside world simply fades away. That's why hours can feel like minutes without you even noticing. But if games can make you lose track of time, why can they also make you so unbelievably angry? Let's talk about gaming rage next. Question 5. Why do games make you so angry? Why does dying in a game sometimes make you angrier than failing a real-life task? It all comes down to how your brain processes loss. Psychologists call it loss aversion, meaning losing feels more painful than winning feels rewarding. When you miss an easy shot, lose a ranked match, or get eliminated at the last second, your brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing your body to fight or escape. That's why your heart races, your palms sweat, and you feel the urge to slam your keyboard or controller. It's not just frustration, it's biology. But if games can trigger such intense emotions, can they also improve your ability to focus? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Question 6. Can video games improve your focus? Have you ever noticed how you can instantly spot a tiny enemy on your screen, but completely miss someone calling your name? That's because many games train selective attention, your brain's ability to focus on important information while ignoring distractions. Whether you're scanning for enemies in PUBG, tracking multiple opponents in Fortnite, or solving puzzles in Portal, your brain is constantly filtering what matters most. Over time, this can improve visual attention and faster decision-making in certain situations. However, that doesn't mean gaming magically boosts concentration in every part of life. Like any skill, it depends on how you use it. But if games can sharpen your focus, why do horror games still manage to scare you, even when you know they're fake? Question 7. Why do horror games feel so real? If you know a monster isn't real, why does your heart still start racing the moment it appears? The answer lies in your brain's fight or flight response. Your brain reacts to danger before it fully processes whether the threat is real or virtual. Horror games take advantage of this by using darkness, unsettling sound effects, and sudden jump scares to keep you constantly on edge. As you explore an abandoned house or hear footsteps behind you, your body releases adrenaline, making your heart beat faster and your senses sharper. That's why even experienced players scream during unexpected moments. Your brain knows it's just a game, but your body reacts as if it's real. But if fear keeps you playing, why do repetitive tasks somehow become so satisfying? Question 8. Why can't you stop grinding? Why are you willing to repeat the same mission hundreds of times just to unlock one item? The answer is progress. Your brain loves seeing measurable improvement, even if it's only a tiny XP bar moving forward. Every level gained, achievement unlocked, or rare reward collected gives you a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to keep going. That's why games like Minecraft, Clash of Clans, and RPGs can make repetitive tasks feel surprisingly satisfying instead of boring. Developers carefully design these progression systems to make every small step feel meaningful. Before you realize it, hours have passed chasing just one more upgrade. But if gaming feels this rewarding, what actually happens to your brain and body after playing for too long? Question 9. What happens after long gaming sessions? What actually happens to your brain after hours of non-stop gaming? In moderation, gaming can be entertaining and even help develop certain skills. But when you play for too long without breaks, your brain stays highly stimulated, making it harder to relax afterward. Bright screens can reduce melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep, while intense gameplay keeps your mind active even after you put the controller down. That's why you might struggle to sleep or feel mentally exhausted despite sitting still for hours. The key isn't quitting games, it's knowing when to stop. Gaming isn't your enemy, imbalance is. And once you understand the science behind it, you control the game instead of letting the game control you. Conclusion. So, is gaming good or bad for you? The truth is, it's neither! Games are simply tools, and like any tool, the impact depends on how you use them. They can sharpen your reflexes, improve problem solving, boost creativity, and connect millions of players worldwide. But they can also consume your time if you lose control. The science doesn't tell you to stop gaming, it teaches you to understand what's happening inside your brain while you play. And once you understand that, you control the game, instead of letting the game control you. If you learned something new today, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more gaming documentaries, and comment which gaming topic we should explain next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one!